time. It's finally time to see Super Mario Odyssey 2. We've waited so long for this game, ever since the end of 2017. And now that Donkey Kong Bonanza is out and going strong, what does this mean exactly for Super Mario Odyssey 2? Anyways, let's get straight into it. So now that the developers are free from making Donkey Kong Bonanza, does this finally mean that they're going to start development on Super Mario Odyssey 2? I think it does. Am I the only one that thought Super Mario Odyssey left off on a cliffhanger? Because it didn't quite make sense why you would go so far to try to rescue Peach, and Peach would just like straight up leave you on the moon. Like, that never made sense to me. And maybe Super Mario Odyssey 2 could leave an explanation to that. Maybe Peach went corrupt, maybe Peach went bad, because Nintendo's always trying to mix up the story. Instead of Mario going to save Peach, now Bowser and Mario are stuck on the moon. And it turns out that Nintendo has confirmed that Peach and Mario aren't actually married. You would have thought after all the kissing in multiple different entries of Mario games, but no, that is not actually the thing. So maybe the plotline for Super Mario Odyssey 2 would be the fact that Peach is now the bad guy. Peach went evil, but it's not in the way that you might think. It might be in a way that she got poisoned by Bowser and her mind is corrupted by a poison mushroom or something like that. Or maybe that is what you were thinking. But overall, I think that this would be a pretty cool entry for Mario Odyssey 2, and it means that finally, we can see a different story, a different timeline, instead of, the casual Mario has to go and save Peach from Bowser, because now Bowser and Mario are stuck on the moon. How in the world are they going to get off the moon? Maybe they have to go and salvage for what's remaining on the moon to get themselves a rocket ship and they can fly away. Overall, it's a really interesting subject. Mario Odyssey 2 will finally fill in that cliffhanger that I've been looking for 8 years. That's been the last 3D Mario game, and honestly, it's finally time to see a new 3D Mario game. And that's fantastic. Mario Odyssey 2 would be a welcome change, and finally, maybe it's gonna be you and Bowser working together, because honestly, I really did enjoy the level that it was you and Bowser working together. You were kind of controlling Bowser with Cappy. It's pretty awesome, and Nintendo is showing that they are willing to change up the story, because inside of Bowser's Fury, you and Bowser Jr. are working to stop Bowser. But now this time in Mario Odyssey 2, it can be you and Bowser working to stop Peach, because Peach is corrupted and now Peach is in control of the Mushroom Kingdom. The one sole thing that Bowser has been wanting for so long. He's also been wanting to marry Peach, but maybe his plan, his evil plan, has finally worked and has turned Peach evil. But maybe it's not falling affection for Bowser, but it's a falling affection for his evil deeds. Overall, I think that this is really interesting, just very interesting, because I've always wanted a full game that you're able to play as Bowser. You're able to stomp around and, destroy things, because now that the same team that made Donkey Kong Bonanza made Mario Odyssey, we all know this, they're all connected. What if they can use some of the assets from Donkey Kong Bonanza and use some of the assets from Mario Odyssey to make the perfect game? That perfect game would allow you to destroy anything you want and would allow you to have different worlds, different ways to explore, and honestly, that would be the coolest thing. And honestly, I really think that Mario Odyssey 2 is finally beginning development. Maybe the team is just going to take a week break and get straight back to the office, hard as work, hard as ever, to finally bring us this game. I don't think that they're going to be making a separate Mario game than Mario Odyssey 2, because again, Mario Odyssey 2 would be fantastic and would finally bring in that cliffhanger that we've been waiting for so long. They can really take a spin on anything that they've made. They can take a spin on Mario Odyssey, because the game left off on a cliff open hanger, and they can make it like, okay, so you and Mario are going to save the day. Maybe Cappy is no longer part of the equation, because Cappy and Peaches, Cappy they get off and they go somewhere else. So now it's just you and Bowser, and maybe you meet up with them eventually throughout the game to say, hey, Cappy, I need your help. Come and join me so I can capture a whole bunch of things and maybe can restore the Mushroom Kingdom to originally what it was. Overall, this is what I'm thinking maybe some of the plotline of Mario Odyssey 2 is going to be, and I'm really excited. I'm honestly so excited to finally be able to say Mario Odyssey 2 is beginning development, because Donkey Kong Bonanza out of the picture. Mario Odyssey was such a massive success, 10 out of 10s across the board, so it's a no-brainer to bring out this game. Maybe this game was already beginning development before Donkey Kong Bonanza, and they decided, you know what, I gotta free up my imagination, I gotta let it run wild so then I can get back, sit down at the desk, and then start making the game once again. So maybe this is why Donkey Kong Bonanza is so chaotic. You're able to do whatever you want because the team wanted you to run wild so then they can, you know, keep going with development. Because it really seems like, why would they sit on a very powerful game? I honestly do think that they had this game kind of semi-ready and they just decided to work on Donkey Kong Bonanza because they wanted to give the player, the fan that really likes 3D Mario games, something to play with when they've been waiting for 8 years for the next Mario game. So what better than to bring back Donkey Kong and give them one of the greatest adventures ever. And now they're gonna finally finish up the game, and we can maybe see Super Mario Odyssey 2 in 2026, 2027, or at latest 2028. This could be a game that's been in development for 8 years for all we know. Could be a game that could be in development for 10 years. We don't even know, and this is what's really crazy about Mario. This is what's really crazy about Nintendo. Nintendo's always wanting to take things to the next level, and you can really see that with Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is a next level game. This is honestly a really special game because you're able to break whatever you want. All the levels themselves, they look so phenomenal, and honestly, the NPCs and things that you can do inside the game are also truly special. This is a next level game. Mario Odyssey 2 can learn upon this, and maybe that's where they came up with the idea of Donkey Kong Bonanza, because you and Mario are, you know, together. You and Bowser kind of thing. You're all together, you're gonna break things, you're gonna have a good time, you're finally gonna see things, and maybe the world is gonna be corrupted. This will be the first game that the world is fully gonna be kind of destroyed. You're gonna see it destroyed, you're gonna wanna go over there, and then once you do something, you clear it all up, and it just clears up, and I don't know. But overall, I think that this is how we're gonna see Mario Odyssey 2 moving forward. Mario Odyssey 2 is going to be a great game, and I honestly think that this game has been in development for so long, and Nintendo, no leakers can touch it because, hey, they never officially announced anything, and the leaks that apparently we've been getting are, the majority of them are just baloney. But there's still some. Maybe there's been one that's like, oh, Mario Odyssey 2 in development now, so, you know, get excited for that. But overall, I have the strongest hopes that it's not going to be beginning from the ground up, because either they already did start and, like I said, they just wanted to get up and make a different game instead of focusing on the same game over and over again. Because I don't know if that's just me, I can't just focus on the same thing over and over again. I gotta work on something else sometimes. I gotta work on a different thing. I think that that's exactly what the Mario Odyssey team was actually doing. They were clearing their imagination out, clearing everything and letting it run wild in Donkey Kong Bonanza. So what do you think about this? Do you think that Mario Odyssey 2 was already in development, or do you think that they're gonna be, you know, building it from the ground up? Because if they are building it from the ground up, they're not necessarily gonna build it from the ground up. They still have some of the assets from Mario Odyssey, and that can cut back on at least a year's of work. So overall, what do you think about this? It's a really interesting subject. I'm really hoping to see Super Mario Odyssey 2 really soon. I think it's going to be a great game, and it's finally going to fill in that cliffhanger that I've wanted to know for so long. Why in the world is Mario and Bowser stuck on the moon? Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. Consider to hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you are new. And with that being said, I post the video every single day, so it's all about different things. I hope you enjoyed. Anyways, have a fantastic day. See you in the next one.